And as we move along next to our next speaker, it's another long-standing Ubisense customer. So I'm really delighted to welcome Wolfgang from Mercedes-Benz to talk about their use of Ubisense and what they've learned over the years. Wolfgang is going to share some of the innovations that they've been working on to enable the factory of the future and their experiences of deploying different location-based solutions globally to support these broad initiatives.
Hello, everybody. My name is Wolfgang Fuchs. I am working for Mercedes-Benz in the IT operations department. And there I am part of the Center of Competence for all real-time locating systems in the different kind of production and shop floor areas. Today I have the pleasure to give you an overview over where Mercedes-Benz is working together with Ubisense and using their technology, the ultra-wideband technology, for different use cases. And I will start my presentation first with a short insight into our Factory 56, which is quite famous in the meantime. Later on, I will give you an overview of how we are using the technology, the ultra-wideband technology, at Mercedes-Benz, and which use cases we are preparing and doing and realizing at the moment. I will give you some information about the challenges and lessons we have gained and experienced in the meantime. I think it's quite approximately up to 10 years, which we have experienced with Ubisense at Mercedes-Benz now. And then I will give you a short video, an excursion into our MO360 ecosystem. It's some kind of a digital platform for the future production of Mercedes-Benz, where smart space, respective Ubisense ultra-wideband real-time locating system data is also a part of. And then some plans for the future. And finally, I will be happy to answer some of your questions. So then I will start with the video, please.
Automobile production of the future. What should it look like? It is sustainable. It is digital, flexible, efficient. And above all, it has people as its focus.
All this is already reality. In Factory 56 at Sindelfingen, Mercedes-Benz most modern assembly hall in its global production network. Here, a diverse range of vehicles is produced fully flexible on the same line, adjusted on market demand. At first, the S-Class sedan and long wheelbase version. Then, also the Mercedes-Maybach S-Class and the all-electric EQS. At the same time, efficiency is increasing compared to the previous S-Class assembly by 25%. This has been made possible, among other things, by wide-scale digitalization and by the flexible structure of the production process, with tech lines and driverless transport systems. The two tech lines bring together all the complex plant technologies. They serve to avoid fixed points in the assembly process. Flexibility improves. When the new models are added, conversion work is easy to carry out in the other areas of the assembly hall.
Now you've had an insight into the new Factory 56, in which we produce quite most of our most important cars, like the new S-Class, the Maybach, and also the brand new EQS. Factory 56 is interesting for us here at this presentation, why we use ultra-wideband in every production line in all over the complete shop floor in the Factory 56. But Factory 56 is just one of many halls and facilities where we are working together with Ubisense, where we are using the ultra-wideband location system of Ubisense in smart space. For example, alone in Sindelfingen, we have at the moment 3 facilities, 3 halls where we use the system. We have in Rastatt and Bremen, which are 2 very important other facilities in Germany, where we're using Ubisense. We are working with Ubisense and using the system in Charleston, United States, at the Vans, in AMG at Falterbach, where we produce our high-performance engines. We have upcoming projects in Spain, in Berlin, and some further projects already in the pipeline. I'd just like to show you or to explain you how we use the system, how we use smart space or the ACS module at Mercedes-Benz. First of all, it started all with the torque control, with the automated torque tools, and there was the initial use case when we got in contact with Ubisense around approximately 10 years ago. We started with the old S-Class, so the version 222. This actual version is 223. So we have a lot of experience with especially the torque control, automated torque tools, which is, I'd say, estimated one of the most common and well-known use cases for that system. In the meantime, the paperless factory became a very important use case at Mercedes-Benz. In early days, it is not that long ago, we had a lot of paper in the shop floors, in the facilities. We had on each car, on each body, we had a large sheet of paper with a lot of information for the workers and so on. So we had a lot of paper anywhere in the facility. And it was always an aim and target to get rid of all these paper, of all this analog information. And that is why we invented the paperless factory, where the Ubisense ultra-wideband locationing system has become a major member for this use case for the paperless factory, where we give the workers support to do their jobs, and we give them support via monitors, tablets, PDAs, or other devices where each worker can see its individual information for each car, for each job, for each task he has to do. And paperless factory got a very, very important use case in all over Mercedes-Benz in collaboration with Ubisense. Another use case is the assembly control of assets in the production line. That means we are doing two things with this. That means with the ultra-wideband location, with the real-time locating system, we are giving triggers at the assembly line. For example, when the new body, the new car enters into a new station, first of all, we through the ultra-wideband location, we're giving the system or the device or the automated machine or anything or the robot, we're giving him the trigger that now we have a new car, and then at the same time we're giving the unique identifier. So for example, in facility 56, it's an 8-digit long number where each car is individually unique identified, and we're giving the number and the trigger, and so the machine knows there is a new car inside, and he has the unique identifier and therefore the information, and then he can get the other information he needs from any ERP systems that he's connected, and can fulfill and do his job. And we have many different assets and devices there, like refilling, refueling, measuring devices, and so on, a lot of them. Ubisense Smart Space real-time locating information is part of the quality life application, which is part of our MO360 ecosystem platform, which I will give you in some minutes an insight. And therefore also a very important system where real-time locating system information is going into the facility, into the production, to give the workers information about real-time location of different cars, bodies, and so on, and where the workers has different jobs to do. And we have, I'd say many upcoming use cases and ideas where we could use the system. I just said the large words like big data, artificial intelligence, business information, getting more digitalized. And these are the different technologies and use cases we use at Mercedes-Benz at the moment. And we had a lot of challenges, experiences, lessons learned, of course, in the past 10 years. And I just want to tell you some about the main important points, perhaps, where I can give you some insights. First of all, it all started with quite proprietary systems, which we connected to Ubisense system. And in the meantime, we got more and more modern API-based interfaces. And it's obvious with these modern API-based interfaces, once they are implemented, finally they get cheaper, they get faster, so they get better. So it's quite easy. With modern API-based interfaces, you have quite easy, quite fast, the possibility to connect your data with other systems, to gain information everywhere where you need it. That is digitalization in life, where you can bring something forward, where you can get the efforts of these real-time locating data. Another point is the scalability of on-prem solutions versus cloud installation. At the moment, we still have on-prem installations on solid separate servers at each facility, and we are really focusing and gaining to get into the cloud. Why? It is not just we are Mercedes-Benz and we want to be modern, so we go on the cloud. No, it's the scalability factor which we have with the cloud installation, which will make it much more easier for the system, much more easier for the complete run of the system. On-prem solutions, you always have to take care of the server where the software is on it, and the server isn't growing and isn't scalable. So the company always have to take care of the servers. And with the years, you start with a use case, you have your installation and everything's running and it's fine, and you have a CPU average load of 40%. And with the years, you're gaining more and more use cases, more and more external devices, more and more systems and assets into the system. And the system is growing, but the server is staying the same. So one time you will get a level average where you reach a red line, and then we have to grow up or to change our server, and that's always a bit tricky to change the hardware in the running process. So that is one major reason why a cloud installation is getting more and more important for us. And that is also a lesson we have learned. In the future, we want to go really in that direction with a cloud installation. And Ubisense told us that they can do it. They already have done it. So we are very interested in getting the first cloud installation done at Mercedes-Benz with Ubisense together. Production critical operation is always a challenge. I don't have to tell you that. Most of you will know that. But it's just a hint. Get in contact with the system, learn a lot, try a lot, do a lot of integration and tests, and you will learn the system. And once you have some experience, you will see how easy it is to run a production critical operation with the system, and it's just a fine solution. Also important was the calculation of a business case. When you didn't have any contact to Ubisense, or you want to start with Ubisense or any kind of real-time locating system, first of all, of course, you have to take some investment, some money. You need some infrastructure, you need some sensors and so on, new technology. You need people that cares about the system and so on. You're learning a lot. And you're calculating in your head, I have the system and I need it for that and that and so on. Once you have the system, you have the infrastructure installed everywhere. And then the workers itself, they get in contact with the system, they learn the system and they see, hey, we have the system, perhaps we could do another use case, I have an idea, and so on. And immediately you just need some new tags, ultra wideband tags, because the infrastructure is everywhere available, and immediately you are getting new user stories and use cases, and the worth of the system is growing and growing permanently. So that's the one important thing. Do the initial step, because new use cases will automatically follow, and it would bring you forward to the digitalization in general. Uniformity and consistency is very important. Of course, the larger your company is, the more facilities and halls you have, the more it is important to have some kind of simplified operation, common modifications, and a common knowledge base where everyone can count on, and then experiences of each individual facility you can grow in one pipeline together, and which will bring everyone forward. And of course, never forget an automated and holistic monitoring, because they will protect from errors, and then you have no surprises. And also it's fine to see that everything's running, and you have a good and automated holistic monitoring with automated news and updates, and that is a very important thing. And there you can also do a lot of, you have many possibilities there with Ubisense. Now I will give you a short insight into our MO360 platform.
Digitalization opens up entirely new possibilities for the future vehicle production at Mercedes-Benz. It is the fully digitized and paperless production that connects all production data for the first time, and it makes it available across the entire production process in real time. Simultaneously, it ensures the highest product quality. All this is enabled by MO360, the new digital ecosystem for the vehicle production. In our ultra-modern production, the vehicles are located within the production line with absolute precision. This is the basis for the needs-based information management of the paperless factory. This way, each worker receives exactly the information he needs for his next work step directly at his workplace. Internet of Things tools are integrated into the factory's local network, and they perform the checks whether all work steps have been fully and correctly completed. The workers confirm their activities digitally as well. This ensures greater efficiency and higher quality. The quality management system is fully integrated in MO360. This means that every quality manager has full access to the current life status of every single vehicle in production at any time. MO360 detects deviations and informs only the responsible employees and quality managers. With the previously collected production data, the cause of a deviation is identified straight away and corrected instantly. All applications of the digital ecosystem MO360 are fully integrated and interact seamlessly. The core of the system is the digital shop floor management application, in which all production data is merged. This allows access to a comprehensive life status of the production at any time. In everyday use, the digital shop floor management is completely convincing, both in the optimization of quality processes and as a communication tool. MO360, the new digital ecosystem for the vehicle production by Mercedes-Benz.
Digitalization, that's the slogan for the future. So what are our plans for the future in regard to Ubisense at Mercedes-Benz? First of all, as I told before, the cloud solution, the cloud installation will be the thing we will try out very, very soon, because we're very interested and keen in getting more and more involved with some cloud solutions and get rid of own unique data centers which we have on each facility. So we want to have the efforts on the positive reasons of the cloud possibilities, and that is one major aspect we will follow in the future, and we will starting with it very soon. We will go on with the next 2 steps with provision of new and additional APIs, because that brings you forward. You with the time and with many experiences, you gain more and more information and more ideas how you could use the information and the real-time data. And so it is important for us because it brings you forward to do a provision of new and additional APIs to get more and more systems connected with your real-time locating data. And that is the third aspect is research and rollout of new features and use cases that comes together. So new APIs come together automatically with new features and use cases. They strengthen them each other, so they will bring the power together, and you will use the system better and better the longer you have it, and the more intelligence you get inside of it. Exactly. And one major point is also very interesting for us, perhaps some kind of test automation and continuous updates. There we have, for example, in the facility 56, we're producing actually around the clock, so 24 hours a day. And so that means you don't have these breakdowns, or you don't have the shut-offs or long weekends where you can do and change systems and do change management stuff and so on. So you will always have, many of the time you will have a running system, and so we would be very interested in continuous updates or updates during the production time. That would be very interesting for us. And we think if we all get that information, that ideas, that use cases together, we will be really succeeding to use the full potential of our real-time locating system data with Ubisense. And yeah, that was my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and perhaps I can answer some of your questions.
Wolfgang, thanks very much for that. It's great that you've packed in more than 10 years of experience into the lessons that you've learned and your plans for the future. So thanks for sharing that. One of the things I was particularly interested in, you mentioned actually right at the start around your role and what you're doing there at Mercedes, is this idea of a centre of excellence, a centralised team that's responsible for these location-based technologies. How did that come about, and is that something that you would suggest other organisations would, should look at and benefit from?
Yeah. First of all, of course, it is hard to take 10 years of experience in a 10-minute video, something like this, of course. But I try to, yeah. And to your question, yes, I am part of the Center of Competence, Center of Excellence. It's quite the same. You can call it like you want to. Some call it Center of Excellence, Center of Competence. I think the thing is, the more diverse your company is, the larger your company is, the more important is such institution. That through such a center of competence, you have the possibility to bundle your communication, to bundle the communication from your company, so from Mercedes-Benz to Ubisense, for example. So our COC, the Center of Competence, is some kind of interface between Ubisense and Mercedes-Benz. That means we have a lot of facilities, we have a lot of different and use cases, and we have a lot of different people and in different countries and so on. And also we have old proprietary systems, we have new modern systems, we have every kind of system, of course. At Mercedes-Benz, we have a lot of systems. So it is very important that you have some kind of base layer, some common information when anybody at Mercedes-Benz or at your company wants to implement such a system, that they have some kind of place where they can go with their basic questions. What can I do? What is real-time locating? What possibilities do I have? And then we can get our combined experience from all the facilities and give them within short time great and good information. Also, the knowledge of each facility, when you have some kind of base COC. We are also the interface from the manufacturers to the IT, to the OT, and also to Ubisense. So with developing new interfaces or anything like this, we can focus on it, and we can gain the information to anybody who is interested, and we have some kind of information pipeline, so everybody has a worth of the information, and which we are separating and sparing all around Mercedes-Benz. So I'd say it's of course quite important to have such installation or such team, perhaps you could tell it.
That's great. It makes perfect sense as well when I think about the video you shared for MO360 and just the breadth of the things that you're doing within Mercedes-Benz. It makes sense to have that centralized point. The other thing that I noticed from those videos is you talked a lot about sustainability and the environmental impact and taking paper out of the factory. You talked about having a paperless factory. I can see how that would be a benefit from installing this type of technology, being more efficient and having less waste. But how important was that in the thinking before you got started? How much of a driver was that in the selection of this type of technology?
So I'd say to use something like a real-time locating system. In the first impact, it doesn't have that impact regarding sustainability or an environmental impact, but the main thing is, with this real-time locating system, with this real-time information, you are supporting the digitalization of your company, and that is the keyword of the time we have at the moment. So the digitalization is very, very important, because that is the thing where we can move forward. We can raise the efficiency of the company in our unknown manner, where we can produce faster, easier, with better quality, and these are all aspects that bring us really forward as a company, and it brings us also forward towards sustainability, because we have less waste, better quality, we are faster, we have more knowledge, more information available, and that is the thing that supports the digitalization in general, and that will bring us forward and of course support all kind of sustainability, and that finally has of course an environmental impact in general. So that's my opinion.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, Wolfgang. Just one quick thing to finish. I just saw a question came in here that you talked about the connection of the MES system at Mercedes-Benz, and Edmundo shared with us the variety of models. How many different models are you making there in your factory 56? Just to give us an idea of the complexity.
Models. So in general, we have the S-Class with about normal version, long version, the Maybach with 3 versions. We have several AMG versions of the S-Class. We have the EQS. There will come up perhaps also some kind of the E-Class in the next year also. So yeah, it's hard to count. We have a lot of different variations in general in the Factory 56. The Factory 56 was always at the very beginning prepared to have the possibility to do very, very different kind of platforms, cars, versions, long versions, short versions, and so on. So there was one of the main topics at the Factory 56 to have all possibilities and all kind of possibilities at the factory then to have the possibility to change anything, to remove anything, get something new, get more electrical vehicles inside the facility. That's the thing. That was one of the most important points at the very beginning of the Facility 56, which I think we could realize. And also Ubisense with the real-time locating system supports us with these different possibilities in general.
That's great. Thanks for giving that insight, Wolfgang. And yeah, so too many to count is the the takeaway I took from that. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Always great to talk to you.